Hi guys, welcome to FC South. I am Vishal and today I'm going to recommend a new direct-to-OTT Malayalam indie called Musical Chair. Directed and starring Vipin Atley, the same person who wrote the underground hit Homely Meals, this film dropped directly onto a new pay-per-view platform called mainstreamtv.in for a price of ₹40 last week. Let's talk about the film. Musical Chair talks about a man named Marty who is 32 years old. It's how old Adi Shankaracharya was when he passed away, a line in the film informs us. It's also the age Bruce Lee, Alexander the Great and Srinivasa Ramanujam lived till. But Marty is anything but an overachiever like these names. He doesn't work, he lives off his mother's pension, and his lifestyle is fueled by a network of pseudo-intellectual freeloaders. But a hedonist Marty is certainly not. He's a hypochondriac who can rattle off the locations of medical clinics across the city, the way an alcoholic lists bars. His condition is a result of two events that formed his childhood. First was his grandmother's death, the person who instilled in him his first understanding of the morbid concept. She explains death as a sort of powerlessness. After you die, you can see and hear everything, but you get buried. Centipedes and cockroaches then start biting you, and you cannot do anything. That's what she tells him. And if that traumatic explanation wasn't enough to scar a young boy, he then has to deal with his father's death, who dies of a heart attack at just 40. What this does is instill in the 32-year-old Marty an undying fear of death. But when a person is paranoid about death, doesn't it also mean that he's petrified of living? That's the irony Musical Chair places at its center. This irony is why it affects us differently when we are shown Marty stress-eating, smoking or drinking. The film is careful not to judge him, and as a result, we don't judge him either. In essence, Marty is trapped in a vicious cycle of stress and anxiety that pushes him into continuing the very habits that are fueling his health worries. Which means that when he's warned of his sky-high cholesterol levels, he deals with it through a binge of cigarettes, junk food and alcohol. In the people he meets and the conversations that follow, Marty understands that it's a purpose that he needs in life for a turnaround. But where does one find such an abstract thing? And even if one does manage to find it, does it also mean that life ends when one's purpose is fulfilled? In the guise of a documentary film, these are the questions Marty tries to get answers for. From a temple priest to an auto rickshaw driver, everyone seems to have answers, which range from purely spiritual to utterly rational. At times you'll feel as though the film stretches its ambitions a bit too much and certain portions remain highly underdeveloped, like the part about Marty becoming a writer. But the film is clever enough to second guess the audience when a character quotes Godard wrongly and says, a film needs a beginning, a middle and an end, but just not in that order. Even later, when the film's actor-director is shown to visit a library, the librarian points him towards a new book on screenwriting. These are factors that really adds to the film's thoroughbred indie spirit, even though watching a film about a hypochondriac at a time like this might be extremely nerve-wracking for a lot of people. If you're willing to give it a go, its strong philosophical core will give you material to ponder over for days after. And the musical chair in question then becomes a metaphor for one's life itself. Your right to sit on that chair lasts only until the music starts playing again. So is there a point in searching for a higher purpose when you're merely occupying a space that's yours only momentarily? That's all for this episode of Now Binging. If you like this video, please hit like and subscribe to Film Companion Sound.